This is my 5th year.
Fantastic. 5th year. So what are you majoring in? What is your what's your background that has led up to this field that you've gotten into, the acting and film and in your own videos and production?
Well, my major is communication, media, and theater.
Fantastic.
And I always had the dream to be an actor, to get myself out there. So my friend and I, my best friend victorcollaso and I, we came up with a TV show called Take One, Pass It Back. And before we got to that, we started the first film and photography club ever in history at NYU.
Wow.
So we made changes, and I'm not going to lie to you, the first time when we brought this club into Northeastern, we got rejected the first time. It was a hard time for us because we wanted to make something, you know, get students involved, but we got shut down. So what we did different was I found a professor at DePaul University who taught marketing, and I found a professor from Northwestern University who allowed us to use their equipment, their cameras, and we were able to do little stuff, videos, and we came back in Northeastern telling them that because they shut us down, we had to use outside resources to create our club. And they were shocked that we were using outside sources, and they're like, wow, because you guys made so many accomplishments, we're going to allow you to become a club. So it was interesting how at first they didn't like us. They're like, no, I don't see you guys are too amateurs. I don't see if you guys have talent. But when we came back with a bigger team, they couldn't even.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, I'm sorry, what year did this happen?
This was my sophomore year when they shut us down.
Okay. And this was, so this was what,
2012.
2012. It was a rush out in 2012. Wow, that's fantastic. So, and you basically, like, strength in numbers happened and they took you seriously.
Yes.
Okay. So you kind of went from there. So from there, what happened?
Well, my friend and I, we happened to go to Sergio Pizzeria right here by Kimball.
Okay.
And we were really hungry. We went to get some real good tacos. And some reason I had a lot of hot sauce on my taco, and it gave me an idea. Kind of sparked like a light bulb.
Right.
And I told my friend, what if we made a TV show based on friends that we have, but like into a reality almost?
Right.
So he's like, explain to me more. I said, well, we have a friend that eats a lot, and we call him Big Man. Wouldn't that be a nice character? A big dude who eats a lot of Cheetos, and that's all he does. But we call him Big Man. We don't know his name, but he's the big man. Then we have another friend that happens to be a person that doesn't stop smoking, and he just doesn't stop. And you can tell when someone smokes a lot because they can smell. And we're like, what if we put a character, like, we name him Kush because he only smokes.
Now I know of what smoke you speak.
Right.
Yes.
That's what I meant.
Yes.
Try to say it smoothly, but
yeah. We'll keep it where it's at right there.
Okay.
Just because of any powers that be or any Fed wiretapping going on.
Okay.
Alternative. Well, whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. Go on.
So yeah, we made that character, and later on we wrote the script. It took us almost a year to finish the script. Each episode is about 20 pages. And the next part that was difficult was finding characters, like people to act on our show.
Okay.
It took a long process. We went to different classrooms at Northeastern. And we finally were able to find a few actors. And the best part is we were able to use professors from Northeastern, from the right college, and to actually make it more of a real sitcom based on college experience. And the best part of getting professors, they could be not studying, but grading papers, but instead they were putting aside to be part of my production. So that was really great.
Hey, shut up back there! I'm doing an interview!
Not my mom.
Shut up! That's some of our local wizards. Production company.
It's called Take One, Pass It Back.
Okay, Take One, Pass It Back. So what did you want to highlight? What did you want to show me tonight from, or we're going to listen, obviously, we can't see it on video. But there's a really great video, the Ebola Scary Skit, which this is the latest in your repertoire of great skits.
Right.
So Take One, Pass It Back. So you have a video that goes along with the name. So please tell me about Take One, Pass It Back first.
Okay.
Why is that deserved of the title of your company?
Well, before it used to be called That Dumb Show, but we found out it's not catchy. People think it's probably from PBS Kids.
Okay.
So we were like, no, we were trying to get college
That Dumb
students.
Show?
Yeah, That Dumb Show.
Just assuming kids are stupid, and so they're...
Yeah, they're probably gonna get this show. So.
Oh boy, I see where you're coming from. Okay.
And it's not catchy. So
Gotcha.
we thought of, if it's gonna be a college setting, a school setting, might as well get something that's familiar from students. So when the professor goes to you and says, all right, kids, take one and pass it back, you know you got to pass it back to your other fellow student.
I love it.
So it's catchy, and you can make a song out of it. Take one, pass it back. Take one, pass it back.
I see.
There you go, Eddie.
We can collab, brother. We can
There
collab.
you go.
Take one, pass
Pass
it
it
back.
back.
Take one, pass it back.
There you go. Well, I can tell you this. Because of this TV show, I was able to meet I was able to be on the newspaper for NEIU, the independent newspaper. I was also able to meet Natalie Martinez from NBC, which was a big deal for me because she won an Emmy Award. So to meet someone who's that great, who's a big inspiration for me because she's also Latina, this is like a big movement. And the great thing is she's willing to help me out with internship. She's emailed me telling me that, you know, you have talent, you got to keep moving forward. And also I met Megan Mawicki, who's also a news reporter.
I thought you were about to say Megan Fox.
No,
Why?
not
Why
Megan
her?
Fox, not Megan Fox. But I was able to have a phone call interview. It was really nice. She gave me a lot of sage wisdom about how I can go about my degree. And the lucky thing about having a YouTube series, you know, I was able to put 33 videos all together. Northeastern called me, one of the HR from Beck's bookstore at NEIU reached me. I don't know how, I guess from connections. She wanted me to do an event at Northeastern, it was last semester, a poetry slam / spoken word. She wanted me to be the MC. And I said, I told her how much we were talking. And she was very generous, very nice. She allowed me to set up the event. I had over 50 people show up. I also had a talented artist from America's Got Talent called Dre Morrow, who sings and raps. He was also at the Dwayne Brothers Chicago's Got Talent. I was able to book his flight, and he came to Northeastern for the very first time. He was able to perform his album, not all of it, but most of his songs.
The clean stuff.
The clean stuff, yeah, the clean version.
Right.
And the students loved it. They were jumping, they were dancing. So I was happy to be the first person to ever make a difference at Beck's bookstore. That was a big movement. And then I had Trio, the Learning Support Center. Not Learning Support Center, the student.
Yeah.
Also, they help students.
Right.
They contacted me to do also a poetry slam at the cafeteria at NEIU. I had about, I would say, 60 people show up. A lot of professors were there to support me, and I was the MC. I did a little rap. I also danced. I did a little surprise because this is not my first time doing MC.
Okay.
I do it as a hobby, I would say.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
hope
you've got a way with words. I mean, you're very smooth on the mic. I will say that.
Oh, thank you. He's African American. Me as one of the creators, I'm Hispanic. You know, first generation to go to college. We have 2 actors that are Caucasian, so it's a very diverse, cohesive group that we have, and that's a great part. Now going to Ebola Skit that you want to know a little bit more of.
Yes.
Well, I notice the media likes to sometimes degrade race in a way, like put down on the race. For example, a year ago, a year and a half ago, we had the issue of the swine flu. It was everywhere.
Right.
And the media likes to say, oh, the Mexicans are bringing the swine flu. We got to watch out. Make sure you don't eat their steaks. So it was a big deal for me because, you know, I happen to be half Mexican. And to hear that kind of stuff really affects me. And it's like it blew up in proportion. So then, a couple months later, we had the bird flu. And the media was attacking Asians. And then we had the Ebola. And the media was just attacking all over African Americans, all over. Not knowing the real history behind Ebola.
Yes.
So I came up with a skit, an improv, where my colleague and I were able to create an Ebola, but not kind of doing a satire, not putting in anybody, not naming any race, but making a song that's catchy, engaging, and surely it will make you laugh. So that was part of our idea to mention Ebola because that was the topic of the media at that moment.
Okay.
We ain't working out. Right, PBS kids, you need some blood.
PBS kids.
Yeah, you drink that coffee, it go to your blood right here. You ready?
Me ha tomado tiempo, pero he perdido en mi situación nos mantengo mucho que ver. Que niños y madres creyendo hijos, que la justicia no se encuentra.
That's awesome, dude. And that actually went over really well without a visual. Again, you guys can call in here at WZRD The Wizard 773-442-4516.